these words, Sean laughed as I had, and then did the exact same nodding knowingly thing. And I could see that the same light bulb that had been turned on in my head was now on in his. He then spent the next 3 days telling his girlfriend that she was completely nuts, and he was a total idiot. They later broke up. I'm pretty sure it was due to more than just him doing that. The other reason this idea intrigued me so much was that in essence I've been living the subject of stupid men and crazy women my whole life. And in my work, too. Much of my writing has been about clueless men and the insane women they're clueless about. I'd written a play about the unbelievable struggle for the sexes just to communicate with each other, called Men Don't Share. And my entire television career has been about men and women's inability to comprehend one another. Most notably, I was a writer for 4 years on Home Improvement, the insanely popular television show with Tim Allen. I also knew that at 44, I was now smart enough to put some things together I never had before, while still being stupid enough to keep it real. By the end of the day, I knew I had to write this book. I also knew I was too stupid to write it myself. I needed help from the funniest, most honest, and balls-out craziest woman I knew, the person who'd said those magical words in the first place. When I approached Jenny that night about working together with me on this book, she was intrigued by the idea, but wary about the possible detrimental effects it might have on our relationship. But I was undeterred. "We'll do it together," I enthused. "We'll be the couple who writes together." And that appealed to the romantic in her. She thought it was a lot more exciting than being the couple who takes ballroom dancing together. So the next day, I stood by the door waiting for Jenny to come home from her job writing for the TV show Samantha Who, and I could barely wait to share my freshly penned insights with her. Her reaction to my introduction went fairly well. But the first chapter, the one I was calling Am I Fat?, was of more concern to her. She took one look at the title and asked me, "Is this what you really think? That I'm fat?" I immediately wished we'd gone ballroom dancing. Step, glide, glide, step, glide, glide.
When my darling boyfriend, Howard, came to me and said that he thought we should write a book together, I wasn't sure if he was joking or not. Welcome to the world of two comedy writers living together. So I defaulted to what I hoped his answer would be, which is that of course he was joking. Ha! Ha ha! Look at you, my funny guy. I mean, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard of. And who better to know crazy than me? Get it? And not only is it the craziest thing I've ever heard of, but it's also downright oh shit, pid, which is when I knew he wasn't joking. He was serious. So much so that he had already written the introduction to a book that wasn't even written yet, as well as Chapter 1, which was entitled Am I Fat?, later retitled At Gunpoint. Now, before I could even begin to wax poetic on the insanity of this endeavor, I found myself first tackling the more important task, which was to find out who exactly was this Am I Fat? Person in question. You know, the person that he was referencing, because I knew, or rather I prayed to God for his sake, that Howard, my love, knew better than to write about me when it came to this particular topic. Because, as everyone in the world knows, even the stupid ones, nothing makes a woman go from 0 to crazy faster than the topic of her weight. His first indicator that crazy had come a-knockin' was the tone of my voice when I said, "So, who did you write about in Chapter 1? The second and more leading indicator was that I wouldn't even let him answer the question I just asked him. "I'm just wondering, because I know you would never write about me when it comes to said topic, right?" There were 5 full seconds of us blinking at each other, with no one speaking, before we both lunged for the chapter that was lying between us on the dining room table. Tie. We each had a grip from either side, and unfortunately I had it upside down, so I had a hard time scanning the first page, which, to be fair, did not have my name on it. But given his white knuckles and the bead of sweat that was now traveling south on his forehead, I knew the answer. "Are you insane?" I asked. Through gritted teeth he responded, "Isn't that your department?" Not funny.